I sure that Magnus Facebook has gang rapists inside as a brainstem, and they're trying to ACIs. I'm saying it for you. In the end, they all want to be down. Dark Lotus, Focal Boost, and Bose, and then it starts distorting. But in the end, they all want to repeat it for the brainstem. The power of the lotus, like a walk of water and spit acid, and get put together by Elmer School or something else. I'm gonna say no, because you tap Magnus Facebook wouldn't claim all sainthood. Why? Because of Big B, I am what I am, and it's all that I am. I am what I am. I'm all again one, because it takes two, and they are what they are. Why? Because your tap Magnus Facebook's always a juggalo, but also a hooligan. Because your tap Magnus Facebook smoked tea leaves with two kids way back in the 90s, even if they weren't juggalos. Because your tap Magnus Facebook had to build everything inside. So what does it mean? It means what it means. Because your tap Magnus Facebook's cut and stitched. Ex-murder boy style. What? Because it means what it means. Because your tap Magnus Facebook can get put back together again. But you can't counterfeit it. You're saying we are and I am. You can't counterfeit because your tap Magnus Facebook juggalo. As soon as brain surgery steps by, all they'll do is send the letter A, and they'll shoot light through Syrax, nothing, and penetrate Lucifer, and they'll say that Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook refused to surrender to an entity. Satan, hail thyself, SKR style. And what does that mean? False invocation is not what it was. There was invocation Lucifer, but Proto does not A-type Lucifer as an entity, because it says it's not about surrendering to an entity. So when you boil it, it says that false invocation Lucifer doesn't invocate Lucifer. But that's not what it said, because there's degrees. It's simply invoking dissection music. It's invoking Inquisition music. It's invoking music so that Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook can build an internal world about magic dragons and stuff. Called Tiamat. It's not called Tiamat, it's mine. Because in the end, if you call it a fursuit, it's because you didn't have instant composting. Because there's action figures and there's all kinds of cool stuff. Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook, even if it doesn't sound like the right name, it's about something specific. That's what she is saying on Counterfeit B. You can take your drug away and come back and call it sin when you die and say what? Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook was born with an hatchet in the juggler's face, then switched to Quar. I'm the demon of war. Maybe you got my face. Listen to the sounds of Stalin. Really? That's what it sounded like. At least in one of the jugglers. Raw Deal. Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's The Raw Deal song. It sounds like somebody tried to steal Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Raw Deal. Twisted music of Independence Day. Listen to the sounds of Stalin instead of Stalin. Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook heard the word Stalin. Then it tapers with Quar. So if you try to unhollow Adolf Hitler Bullet Wound to take Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook Southern Pride, it's not called Pride, and it's not called Brad, it's not called Brandon, some false blonde kids from Dundalk Mountain. Well, you call them false because they're not supposed to be there while you're trying to A-type them. So, Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook Satanic Luciferian Kiss Poo. Kiss Poo's about Tiamat. Just like Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Are You That Wicked? Yeah, yeah. Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's a juggle, but doesn't worry about the letter A type. Because it's not about surrendering to an entity. So if you try to flatline Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook, when you say the words wrong and you try to take Ariman, nickname for anguish, just like you tried to take Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's Inquisition music, dissection music, bring chaos. We try to compress the geosphere, the chaos star. You're trying to compress the upright pentagram until it looks like Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's going in every direction. But you can't second time Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's juggle. You tried, you mix the words up, and you try to A-type with no monitoring. Make him sound sad. Don't pretend to be a sadness. It takes emotions and tell him he's in a dog or something. Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's a juggle, so I'm gonna pretend to be Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook and pretend to inherit humanity. And use voice the skull worse than, and say I won't build a skull with my own brainstem. And try to clone Juggle by touch, consume, record, and counterfeit Curtis Joseph. Once self removed from I. And then pretend to be Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's Fatal Fury, my character. Don't do that. Don't get rid of Kaiser Magnus Facebook's my Fatal Fury character. I'm going to take the word my because M-A-I sounds like M-Y. And from, so, no, it's not called You're My Asian. Don't get rid of Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's Asian female stuff. What about you can't second time? You don't understand. If you're not a juggalo, you're not a juggalo. So if you try to say you're counterfeiting Big B, I am what I am, just a hooligan. So it means that you're trying to take Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook getting in fist fights way back at childhood, and you're trying to say when it looks like getting punched or it looks like Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook punching somebody, you're trying to take it away to say you want to claim responsibility. You're saying you went to A-type and then try to take Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook Social Security and independence away and say that you want to deny belief in God. You want to kill Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's independent Social Security because it's got all Social Securities inside of it. It's not called inside of it. So when you try to say that Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook can't have independence, you can't kill Twisted Independence Day, and you can't kill Axe Murder Boys, Cut and Stitched. You can't kill Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook because it doesn't require Xerox nothing, saying that Lucifer fell from grace, had children, and couldn't even have HBHI, couldn't have broken word. You're saying that you went to suicide for Lucifer to pretend that Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's Tabmo's Deception Star, you would have to die without holy saints. It's guarded by holy saints because Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook has a video game girlfriend named Astardi from childhood. So you can't kill Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's video game brides. It's not called Brad. It's not called Brandon. So when you're trying to kill Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's independent Social Security and all Social Securities from Social Securities or proto, you don't apply A-type, where you're not built from your own independence, called A-type, sending the letter A until Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook Salt Paper Jesus, comedy and satire. Proto, don't apply traits, don't A-type, the Venturated Object Challenge. It's just simply salt material Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook already had. Don't apply anything towards it. Or when Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook, while fighting this monitoring, has the salt picture, the Pope, it's not good for our own weir, and it's mine, not yours. The Pope picture, salt picture first, and I got him first. Then it wouldn't say A-type. All men. Crucified, could not build their own image. Pane of glass, light penetrates. Xerox, nothing. Penetrates, Lucifer. And penetrates by the power of Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook, Satanic, Luciferian, Kispoo, Arimanist. Because you're boiling until you say that Lucifer wants to have fame and come back to life by gang raping empty traits, to fraud having demonic children and shit. So then Christ destroys you. But it doesn't mean that it causes universal equality. It's only equal when you die by A-type. So if you touch and destroy juggalo parts of Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's brain the way you said you gang raped Kaiser Tab Magnus Facebook's word you, it's not called new, Y-O-U. because it's about Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook already having a custom self Blaze Your Dead Homie, even if it just looks like Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's brain building the thought character. It doesn't mean that Blaze Your Dead Homie is Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook suicide and then destroying the thought value and destroy Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Blaze Your Dead Homie, erase the character and ask we to build everything. You're asking to brute force gang rape Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's brain to then counterfeit your being as being the master over Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook, causing what does proto mean when it's not questioned? It means it's not typed yet. It means that it does not A-type. So if there's no congregation of Azazel, Azazel doesn't mean anything. So what does invocation Lucifer mean? Doesn't mean anything. It's dissection music and stuff. It doesn't bid you it. Lucifer doesn't gain anything. And you're forcing gang rape Luciferian until Lucifer has to die. So then it means what it means. You're forcing a terrorism group called Luciferian. So there's only two types. There's either innocent, plain dissection music and Inquisition music that Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's brain builds, but it's not called Brian, it's my brain. Don't gang rape Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Inquisition, dissection music and stuff. It sounded chopped up, reassembled, and then you're frauding Juggalo as a cure-all for CSA. So your killing value is disconnecting, then reconnecting, and trying to totally erase Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's brain by destroying anybody. No, it's not called anybody killer. You pretend that's it and then harvest it. It doesn't work that way. You are trying to kill Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook. Now pretend we're killing you and we're getting you to kill your own brain. Stop gang raping Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Blaze Your Dead Homie. Because if you kill the neural value and you change who Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook was and the relationship to self-built music in skull, in brain. Now I call Brian, it's not called Brian, it's my brain. So without born again, you don't get it. It's all explained. You can't kill Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Juggalo stuff. So when you second time and fraud first, you're frauding born again Christianity. It's terrorism. You're trying to demonize Insane Posse inside of Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook to destroy Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Keck, Pepe, Chatelet music. It's the wrong order. And you're trying to use Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Orimonic Enlightenment. Orimon's Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's nickname for anguish. And self-to-self psychological decompression anger management that hasn't been done in 5 years. The terrorism's been going on that long, and I don't think. So Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's forced to act like a dog fucking itself, and forced to act like Africans, and forced to act like blind children raping everything, and black-haired children who are too over-offended, and red-haired children punching Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook while frauding, killing a rebel flag, Boondocks, and Southern Pride. Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook can still listen to Insane Posse saying fuck your rebel flag. It doesn't have to fuck Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's rebel flag. Because it Boondocks now. We're not going to let you have anything, and we're going to kill you because you played Chatelet. And we're going to use it as an excuse and say that we killed a Nazi and everything. And then we're going to try to cover it up and then say that you weren't, because Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook has lolicon Nazis. Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook has an altar worshipping, dress up like a Nazi anime females. One of them looks like a Bolai-chan, so we're going to call it hate material. But then we try to kill Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook's Necro YouTube music, where it says Kanye West is a Nazi. So we're trying to kill atheist Israeli American rap, where it's all about don't believe in anything. Are you stupid? What's after death? Necro with the dynamic pool, impelling you like a bull. I won't say it right. Oh. So we're trying to kill Necro music and saying that we'll change it. And then we'll fraud Necro as Luciferian and say that Necro paid to a fallen angel and shit because of some lyrics. So we're saying that we'll kill every Necro fan just by killing Kaiser Tap Magnus Facebook, and we'll go around and brainwash them and stuff. I don't think. So what does that mean? We don't want Kaiser Magnus Facebook to have Nazi outfits on Ebola Chen. We don't want Kaiser Magnus Facebook to jerk off the Ebola Chen. So we're telling you that we want to force the brain to hear laughter and then tapering it in front of an audience or something. So we're using Kaiser Magnus Facebook Proto just want to buy traits, whether there were or weren't. Because there's only Kaiser Magnus Facebook Social Security building all Social Securities, but don't A-type all Social Securities, because Kaiser Magnus Facebook doesn't identify as we. What would you be built out of? Mirror reflection, you, if Kaiser Magnus Facebook was a skeleton, and you said that JFK was just a bullet wound, because you applied A trait. If you A-type, what can astronaut, what your country can do for you, but ask if you could live in JFK, and when JFK frauds being Luciferian, that you shoot JFK in the brain and say you killed Buddha, that said that you were just an object, called 2 Social Securities, and that you have to start there, called Christianity. Kaiser Magnus Facebook to juggle doesn't mean he has to totally she die to the point where you just killed a masculine and fraud guarding just the females. It doesn't make sense. So of course Kaiser Magnus Facebook have juggle epiphany, but not commitmental suicide and everything. So we're trying to kill everything and then fraud cleansing the brain, and then coming by after raping everything and then pretending to give money or something. Doesn't make sense. We're trying to turn Rome into a terrorist, killing all of the Middle East, and then trying to brainwash Christianity in America. Kaiser Magnus Facebook doesn't have to worry about building a thought picture pope and then destroying it or assassinating the pope, and doesn't have to worry about tapering from thought paper, Jesus, burning, comedy, and satire. Proto doesn't apply traits to the Venerated Object Challenge, Satanic International. So when the thought paper is challenged and you try to change the past, you just don't have an empty stump. So you fail at Juggalo, and then you can't have Kaiser Magnus Facebook stuff. So you can't go to the Catholic Church and then have a Eucharist to say anything in the brain gang raping Kaiser Magnus Facebook, whether fictional outside, which is not belief, but lack of belief. Fiction means A-typing. It means that you don't have Kaiser Magnus Facebook's right to Inquisition music when you're found and assassinated. By light penetration through stained glass, but it shouldn't give Caesar Borgia Kaiser Magnus Facebook's females to screw beyond the grave. Yep.